In 1974, a teenager with a borrowed pickup truck and a rake could out-earn his father's factory wage in a single Saturday. Nobody talks about that anymore. Today, everyone chases APS, drop shipping, and crypto, while the hustles that built working-class fortunes sit forgotten in garages across America. But here's the twist. Number 7 on this list still pays so fast in cash that contractors quietly do it on weekends. And number 3, a skill your grandfather mastered for free, now charges $200 an hour because almost nobody learns it anymore. These 20 old-school weekend hustles never went away. They just got buried under a pile of get-rich-quick noise. And everyone can still clear $1,000 a week if you actually show up. Before we start, hit subscribe because this list might just replace your side gig. Let's count down. Number 20, aluminum can and scrap metal collecting. It sounds like something a broke college kid does, and that's exactly why nobody serious pays attention to it. Your grandfather knew better. Back when scrap yards lined every industrial town, men would cruise the alleys on a Saturday morning, pulling copper wire, old radiators, and busted appliances out of the trash that other people paid to haul away. Today, aluminum runs around 50 cents a pound. Copper can hit $3 or $4, and a single discarded air conditioner holds enough mixed metal to make a stop worth it. The real money isn't in cans, it's in relationships. Find 2 or 3 contractors gutting houses and offer to clear their metal for free. They save on dumpster fees, you keep the copper and brass. A weekend hauling a few hundred pounds of mixed scrap, plus 1 renovation cleanout, can clear $1,000. The yard pays cash, no questions asked, no app required. Number 19, knife and tool sharpening. There was a time when a man with a whetstone and a pushcart would ring a bell down the street, and housewives would run out with their kitchen knives and garden shears. That trade nearly died, which is precisely why it pays so well now. Almost nobody knows how to put a real edge on a blade anymore. Restaurants are desperate for it. A busy kitchen runs 15 to 30 knives, and chefs will pay $3 to $5 a piece to have them done weekly. Stack 4 or 5 restaurants on a Saturday route. Add a farmer's market booth where you sharpen for the public at $1 an inch, and the numbers climb fast. A decent setup costs a couple of $100s and lasts decades. The skill takes a weekend to learn and a lifetime to master. But even a competent edge beats the dull blades everyone else is suffering with. One reliable route, repeated every week, quietly becomes a $1,000 habit. Number 18, firewood splitting and selling. Every fall, the same thing happens in cold climate towns across America. People want a roaring fire, and almost none of them want to split the wood. Your grandfather did it with an axe and a strong back. You can do it with a $300 splitter and a chainsaw. A cord of seasoned hardwood sells for $250 to $400, depending on your region, sometimes more for oak or for delivery. Tree services will give you logs for free just to avoid hauling them. Spend a Saturday cutting and splitting, a Sunday delivering and stacking, and 3 to 4 cords move out the door. The work is honest and brutal, the kind that makes your hands look like your father's. But the demand is permanent, the supply is often free, and the customers come back every single winter. In peak season, $1,000 a weekend is not optimistic. It's just a matter of how much you're willing to swing that maul. Number 17, the weekend produce stand. Before supermarkets flattened everything into the same waxy tomatoes, families set up roadside stands and sold what their gardens couldn't eat. The card table, the hand-painted sign, the coffee can full of change. That image feels like a relic, but the math still works beautifully. A backyard garden or a deal with a local farmer gives you tomatoes, sweet corn, zucchini, and peppers at pennies on the dollar. People driving past a homemade stand will pay premium prices for the feeling of buying local, fresh, and direct. Add eggs from backyard hens, jars of honey, or cut flowers, and the margins widen. The trick is location and consistency. same corner every Saturday and Sunday until you become the place people plan their weekend around. A well-placed stand in a busy area, running both weekend days through summer, can move enough volume to clear $1,000. No employees, no rent, no middleman skimming the top. Number 16, baking and selling from home. Here's where things get interesting, because this one rewards skill more than equipment. Long before bakeries went corporate, neighborhood women were known for their pies, their sourdough, their cinnamon rolls, and people lined up for them. That reputation was worth money, and it still is. Cottage food laws in most states now let you legally bake at home and sell directly to the public. No commercial kitchen required. A loaf of artisan sourdough costs maybe $1 in flour and sells for $8 to $12. A dozen cookies costs $3 to make and sells for $15 to $20. Take pre-orders during the week, bake Friday and Saturday, then deliver or set up at a farmer's market on Sunday. 20 loaves, a few dozen cookies, plus a couple of custom orders for a birthday or a party. And the weekend adds up quickly. The smell alone sells half your inventory. Word of mouth does the rest, and your grandmother's recipe just became a business. Number 15, sewing, mending, and alterations. Almost nobody can hem a pair of pants anymore. That single fact is a small fortune for anyone who can. Your grandmother kept a sewing machine in the corner and never paid for a single repair in her life. Today, a torn seam means a trip to the tailor, and the tailor charges accordingly. A simple hem runs $10 to $15 and takes 10 minutes. Taking in a dress, replacing a zipper, altering a suit for a wedding, these are $20, $30, $50 jobs. Bridal alterations alone can run hundreds of dollars per gown, and brides will pay it without blinking. Set up a corner of your home, post in local groups and at the dry cleaner, and the work flows in. Weddings, proms, and weight changes never stop. A weekend of steady alterations with one or two bigger formal jobs mixed in lands comfortably at $1,000. The machine costs less than a phone and outlasts every gadget in your house. Number 14, window washing. Squeegee, bucket, soap. That is nearly the entire startup cost, and it is exactly why this trade has quietly minted weekend money for a century. Homeowners hate cleaning their own windows, and they really hate the high ones. The job is faster than people expect once you learn the technique, the long, smooth pull that leaves no streak. A typical home with 15 to 20 windows runs from $150 to $250, inside and out. Storefronts pay a flat weekly rate just to keep their glass gleaming for customers. Knock out 3 or 4 houses on a Saturday, add a small commercial route on Sunday, and you are there. The barrier to entry is almost nothing, which scares some people off because they think the competition must be fierce. It is not. Most people who start window washing quit because it is repetitive. The ones who stay reliable and show up on time own their neighborhoods. Clean glass, clean cash, every weekend. Number 13, gutter cleaning. This is the job everyone needs and nobody wants, which is the entire reason it pays. Twice a year, every house with trees nearby fills its gutters with rotting leaves, and ignoring it means water damage that costs thousands to repair. So homeowners pay to make the problem disappear. A single-story house runs $100 to $150, and a 2-story house easily runs double that. The work is straightforward. A ladder, gloves, a scoop, and a hose, but it carries just enough risk and inconvenience that most people will gladly hand you the money rather than climb up themselves. Spring and fall are your golden seasons when the phone rings off the hook. Bundle it with a quick downspout flush and a roof debris check for an upsell. 4 to 6 houses in a Saturday, repeated through the season, and the math hits 4 figures fast. It's dirty, it's seasonal, and it's recession-proof because gravity and trees never take a year off. Number 12, pet sitting and dog walking. Long before there were apps for this, the neighbor kid had a key to half the houses on the block, and a pocket full of cash from feeding cats while families were away. That trust-based economy never disappeared. It just got more lucrative. Americans treat their pets like children now, and they pay like it too. A single dog walk runs $15 to $25 for 30 minutes. Overnight, pet sitting in the owner's home pays $50 to $100 a night. Holiday weekends, when everyone travels and boarding kennels fill up, are pure gold. Line up a handful of regular dogs for morning and afternoon walks. Take 2 or 3 overnight stays across a weekend, and the income stacks. The startup cost is zero. The barrier is trust, and trust is built one happy dog at a time. Once a family believes you, they never look anywhere else, and they tell every other pet owner they know. Number 11, house cleaning. There's nothing glamorous about a mop and a bucket, and that's precisely why this old reliable still pays better than most office jobs by the hour. Busy families, working couples, and aging homeowners all want a clean house, and none of them have the time or desire to do it themselves. A standard home clean runs $100 to $200 depending on size, and it takes a couple of focused hours once you're efficient. The real money is in the recurring schedule. Land 5 or 6 homes that want a weekly or bi-weekly deep clean. Slot them into your Saturday and Sunday, and you've built a route that pays steadily without you chasing new customers. Supplies cost almost nothing. Move out, cleans, and post-construction jobs pay even more for the same skill set. The work is physical and unglamorous, but the cash is dependable. The demand never dries up, and a single weekend of solid bookings clears $1,000 with room to spare. Number 10. Mobile car detailing. Here's the second pattern break, because this one turns a Saturday afternoon into serious money. Your father waxed his car in the driveway every weekend out of pride. You can do it in someone else's driveway for profit. A basic wash and vacuum runs $50 to $75. A full interior and exterior detail, including claying the paint, shampooing the carpets, and conditioning the leather, easily fetches $150 to $300. Luxury car owners pay even more to protect their investment. The beauty is that you come to them, so there is no shop rent eating your margins. A pressure washer, a shop vac, and a kit of brushes and chemicals gets you started for a few $100s. 2 or 3 full details on a Saturday, a couple of quick washes on Sunday, and the numbers are right there. People judge their cars the way they judge their homes, and they will keep paying to keep that showroom feeling. Repeat customers turn a one-time gig into a standing weekend appointment. Number 9, junk hauling. Every house in America is slowly filling with stuff nobody wants, and getting rid of it is a genuine headache. That headache is your paycheck. The old-timers did it with a truck and a strong friend, charging by the load. Nothing has changed except the prices. A truckload of junk removal runs $150 to $500, depending on volume and how much labor it takes. Estate cleanouts, garage purges, and post-move clearouts are constant. Here is the part most people miss. Half of what you haul has resale value. That solid wood dresser, those tools, that working appliance, all of it can be flipped, scrapped, or sold while the customer is paying you to take it away. So you get paid twice, once to remove it, and again to resell it. A pickup truck, a dolly, and a willingness to do heavy lifting is the whole operation. A couple of full hauls in a weekend, plus the resale upside, lands well past $1,000. Number 8, moving help. Nobody enjoys moving, and almost nobody can do it alone. That permanent misery is a permanent opportunity. Before moving companies turned it into a corporate racket, you'd round up a few strong guys, rent a truck, and help neighbors haul their lives across town for cash and pizza. People still need exactly that, and they'll pay handsomely to avoid throwing out their backs. Labor-only moving help, where the customer rents the truck and you provide the muscle, runs $50 to $80 an hour per mover, and most jobs need 2 people for several hours. Weekends are peak moving time, when leases turn over and people finally tackle the move they've been dreading. Partner with one reliable friend, advertise in local groups, and book back-to-back jobs across Saturday and Sunday. No truck to insure, no warehouse, just labor sold by the hour. It's exhausting work, the kind that earns its money honestly. And a busy moving weekend clears 4 figures without any equipment at all. Number 7, the weekend handyman. This is the one contractors quietly do on the side, and here is why. Most home repairs are too small for a real contractor to bother with, but too annoying for the homeowner to ignore. A leaky faucet, a sticking door, a wobbly railing, a ceiling fan that needs hanging. These tiny jobs, the ones nobody big wants, are pure profit for the person willing to show up. A handyman charges $50 to $100 an hour, and the jobs cluster together, 3 or 4 small fixes at one house in an afternoon. Your grandfather could fix anything in his home because he had to, and that everyday competence is now a paid skill because younger generations were never taught it. A basic toolkit you probably already own is enough to start. String together a Saturday of small repairs around the neighborhood. Take one bigger project on Sunday, and the day adds up fast. Reliability is the entire game. The handyman who answers the phone and shows up owns the whole street. Number 6, painting. A brush, a roller, and a steady hand. That is the toolkit your great-uncle used to paint half the houses in town, and it still pays the bills better than most people realize. Painting is the rare, skilled trade you can genuinely learn in a weekend, yet homeowners are happy to pay to avoid the mess, the ladders, and the time. Interior rooms run a few $100s each. A fence or a deck pays well for a single day's work. Exterior trim, accent walls, and rental turnovers between tenants are constant sources of jobs. The materials are cheap, the markup is in your labor, and a clean, sharp paint line is something most amateurs simply can't produce. Landlords are the secret weapon here, because they need units repainted constantly, and they pay quickly to get them rented again. Knock out a couple of rooms or a fence on Saturday, a rental turnover on Sunday, and the weekend lands comfortably at $1,000. Steady hands, steady money. Number 5, furniture flipping and reselling. Here's the third pattern break, and it's the one that rewards a sharp eye over a strong back. Long before resale apps existed, people made real money buying low at estate sales and selling high to folks who wanted something with character. That game is more alive than ever. A solid wood dresser, tossed to the curb, sanded and refinished over a weekend, can sell for $200 to $400. Mid-century pieces, old tools, vintage kitchenware, and quality furniture sit at garage sales for almost nothing because the sellers just want them gone. You buy for $10, clean and repair, and resell for $100. The skill is knowing what's valuable, and that knowledge compounds every weekend you spend hunting. Saturday mornings are for sourcing, hitting estate sales and curbs early before anyone else. Sundays are for cleaning, fixing, and listing. A handful of good flips, each turning a small investment into a big return, builds to a $1,000 week. The inventory is everywhere, and most people walk right past it. Number 4, pressure washing. Few things are more satisfying than blasting years of grime off a driveway and watching the clean line appear. And people will pay real money to make that transformation happen on their own property. This is the modern descendant of the kid with a hose and a scrub brush, except the machine does the brutal work and you charge accordingly. A driveway runs $100 to $200. A house exterior runs $300 to $600. Decks, patios, fences, and sidewalks all add up. A good pressure washer costs a few $100s and pays for itself in a single job. The demand is enormous because dirty concrete and green-streaked siding bother homeowners every time they pull into the driveway. spring is your busiest stretch when everyone wants their home looking fresh again. 2 or 3 jobs on a Saturday, a couple more on Sunday, and 4 figures arrives easily. The before and after photos practically sell the next job for you. It's one of the few hustles where the result is so dramatic that customers brag about it for you. Number 3, welding and metal repair. This is the skill your grandfather mastered for free that now charges $200 an hour because almost nobody under 40 learns it anymore. The trades have been so neglected that a competent welder is treated like a magician. Farmers need equipment repaired. Homeowners need railings, gates, and trailers fixed. Small fabrication jobs, custom brackets, repaired hitches, mended fences come in constantly to anyone who can lay a clean bead. A used welder costs a few $100s, and the skill, while real, can be learned through honest practice over a few weekends. Mobile welding, where you bring the rig to the job, commands premium rates because you are saving the customer the impossible task of hauling broken steel to a shop. Rural areas are especially hungry for it. A single Saturday of mobile repair calls, charging by the hour plus materials, can clear most of your weekly target on its own. It is hot, demanding work that scares most people off, and that scarcity is exactly why it pays like a profession instead of a side gig. Number 2, lawn care and landscaping. This is the workhorse, the hustle that has put more American teenagers through their first car and more grown men through a mortgage payment than any other on this list. A mower, a trimmer, and a truck, and you are in business. A single lawn pays $40 to $80 for under an hour of work. The genius is in the route. Cluster your customers in the same few neighborhoods, and you can knock out a dozen yards in a single Saturday with almost no drive time between them. Add mulching, hedge trimming, and seasonal cleanups for the bigger paydays. Here's the secret nobody tells you. Lawn care is recurring revenue. That grass grows back every week, whether you are there or not. So every customer you land becomes a paycheck that repeats all season. Build a route of 20 to 30 regular yards across a weekend, and $1,000 a week is not a goal. It is a baseline. The equipment pays for itself in a month, and the demand is as endless as summer itself. And finally, in first place, snow removal. It seems almost too simple, but in the right climate, nothing on this list pays faster or harder than clearing snow, and your grandfather knew it. When a storm hits, an entire town is suddenly trapped, and everyone needs the same thing at the same moment. That urgency is everything. A single driveway pays $30 to $75 to shovel and more to plow. Commercial lots and businesses that must open in the morning pay hundreds, sometimes on retainer for the whole season just to guarantee you'll show up. A snowblower costs a few $100s, and a plow blade for a truck costs more, but earns it back in one big storm. Here's what makes it the king of weekend hustles. The work is concentrated into intense bursts where demand is desperate and pricing power is entirely yours. A single heavy weekend storm with a route of residential driveways and 1 or 2 commercial contracts can clear well over $1,000 in 2 days. Seasonal, brutal, and weather-dependent, yes. But when it snows, you don't have customers. You have a town that needs you. So there they are, 20 old-school weekend hustles that never stopped paying. From collecting scrap metal to clearing snow off a frozen driveway at dawn. The thread running through every one is the same truth our grandfathers understood by instinct. The money was never in chasing the newest thing. It was in showing up, doing the work nobody else wanted, and being the person people could count on. Here is my challenge to you. Pick one. Just one. The one you could start this weekend with what you already own and try it. Then come back and tell me in the comments how it went and which one you would put at number 1. Because these are not get-rich-quick schemes. They are get-rich slow and sure, the way it has always worked. Your grandfather knew. Now you do too.